Ron Slay now joins us. He's en route for his ESPN gig that is just growing by the day. I say watch out, Jay Billis, but he's headed to Auburn, and he's going to be on the TV tonight, and he's just fantastic at it. His appearance brought to you by Zach England of Best of Brock. Zach's got your back. Personal injury attorney in Chattanooga like no other, can stand toe-to-toe with the insurance company, lawyers, and win. Ron, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. You're working too much, man.
Hey, man, you gotta grind, baby. I remember when I couldn't get on the air. I couldn't do nothing. So I got to take advantage of this. You never know when it'll stop.
There you go. Hey, let me ask you a quick off-the-wall question, because my Dallas Cowboys have Brett Maher, who can't hit an extra point or a field goal for that matter, and cost them a shot at the NFC. Now, the only comparison I could make would be at the free throw line. Did you ever have the yips, which he obviously had? Did you ever have the yips at the free throw line?
No, I'm fortunate to never have to go through any of that, man. Like I had my routine down. I'm trying to think if I had something close to it, man. I think I may have went through a stretch for about 3 games in my pro career where I couldn't. I just wasn't shooting the ball from 3 well. Like people start leaving me open and things of that nature, and I made them pay. I made them pay dear. Once I got my rhythm, I think I got it like in the 4th game. I had like 8 to 7 threes or something like that. So all that went away. But man, I'm so fortunate I ain't have to never deal with that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I want to roll it around to hoops, but one more. This is a hoops question, but we'll get to the men here in just a second. But you have the UConn-Tennessee rivalry that's back and the Lady Vols, and I think it's so important for the sport. That being said, still to this day, with the legacy that Pat Summitt left, how much pressure continues to be on whoever is in that position, which happens to be Kelly Harper now?
Man, huge shoes to fill. Huge shoes to fill. I think it's unimaginable, you know what I'm saying, to have to walk into that office, you know, day in and day out, and not feel that it's somehow you got to be able to produce what Coach Summer was able to produce. You know what I'm saying? Even with people like, man, go be yourself. Even Pat Summer would tell them, just be yourself. Every work out. I mean, that shadow is cast so big, man, and it's like, what are you supposed to do? What is enough? Like, is one championship bringing you back to the creme de la creme of the women's game? Is that enough? No, honestly, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna compare it, and that's the problem. Like, you don't have anything else to compare it to. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything else is looked at as a failure. Championships, and that's ladies back to playing together, and all striding into one goal, man. So I'm proud of the Lady Vols getting it. I think Holly did a great job. I love Holly. I'm biased also, you know, she was there when I was there, and I watched her coaching, and I know what she brings to the game. I just think, man, it's for her to walk in those shoes right after Coach Summer left. I don't know if anybody else could have done that either outside of Holly. So I think I always give her credit for that, just having the bold gumption, if you will, to walk into those shoes and accept having that job and going in and out day in and day out.
Ron, I was going to transition to men's basketball, but yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about the women's game too, because there's just a lot there, because they don't just play UConn, they play LSU, and LSU's Kim Mulkey. And you know, I'm with you with Holly. I understood why she was let go when Kelly Harper came. Do you think the pressure was added because do you think there was maybe do you think there was maybe a step back that the program took, unfortunately, because Pat Summitt was unknowingly coaching with her illness the last couple of years?
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's no one's fault. It's not her fault. But do you think that put the program on a little unstable ground when Holly had to take over?
Yeah, I think so. Because you would realistically like to have a baton handoff. You know what I'm saying, in that situation. And in this case, the baton was, in a sense, dropped, and it just had to be scooped with nobody watching. And you take off and run with it. And I think that's why I give Holly the credit for it. I don't understand a way that it could have been an easy transition outside of her actually going and handpicking somebody and walking them through for 2 or 3 years of how to get this job done. You know what I'm saying? The way to run it and keep this machine rolling on the track. So with it abruptly coming to an end, I thought that was difficult to handle. And I think one thing that gets overshadowed is also, and not to make excuses at all, but what was Holly actually dealing with? Like that was a running mate. You know what I'm saying? Her, Mickey DeMoss, like those are running mates. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anyone ever took a step back and was thinking like, man, how is Holly handling this? Because she didn't really have time to grieve. She had to pick up, roll, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I think all that comes into play. But man, this game, man, this game is going to be huge. And I think the fans should get behind this team even more so, man, because it won't be long. You know what I'm saying? It won't be long. It's in the DNA. It's in the fabric of the Lady Vols to be great. And once it gets back rolling, like, I don't need to see everybody coming back trying to be like, man, we were here in the dark times. And no, if you ain't been there, don't come back. We all right. We'll pick up some little kids and let them roll and raise them the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be fun to watch, man. The big time game coming up Thursday. Game day will be in the building. And I think, man, the Lady Vols, they strike it up, get things rolling with this game. UConn dealing with a lot of things, a lot of injured players for big time player team Paige and Foot. She's also injured. So, you know, and then Gino, what he had to deal with personally, trying to get back into the flow. But one thing about it, man, they've never cared who struggled or who was doing what situation was happening. They took advantage of whatever team stepped on the floor for the Lady Vols. And I'm speaking on behalf of all the Lady Vols. You step up with that UConn jersey on, be prepared to go to war. You're going to get dragged. We don't care about nothing you got going on. Once you get in between them lines, it's on. It's on. And then I think that leads over to the men's game in Texas, and then backdooring that and wiping up the whole weekend with a big-time matchup against Angel Reese and Coach Morgan and them at LSU.
Ron, we had somebody ask or somebody say, buckle up, Ron. Have you got your seatbelt on? I knew he did. See, Ron's tall. Yeah. And Ron's tall, too, so you can sometimes cut out. I knew you did. Right? You're a beloved Vol.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone making sure I'm safe, man. Yeah, but stretch out a little bit, man. Get cold. This is a nice little ride going down here.
Well, let me ask you this: your thoughts on the Georgia game and why Josiah-Jordan James is suddenly so red hot?
I think, man, being able to sit out when you're a veteran and watch the game and see where the team lacks things that you can bring to the game, you know, especially with him being able to be able to come back and know that. I think one thing that was lacking was the intent to go and shoot, you know, by guys. If it's not Santi or Zakai, the intent to have I'm going to go hunt my shot and I'm going to take what the defense gives me. Him getting those open looks, like he hasn't been hesitant. And you can tell he's been working on his shot, even though he's been out nursing the injury. His shot looks a lot more as one of the biggest things. Having that veteran like yourself when you walk into not even other people's arenas, but when you go in the SEC play and Kentucky walks into your arena, I remember that feeling coming over me like, golly, man, we got Kentucky today. You know what I mean? Regardless if they're good or not, you know what I mean? You're playing them along with the tradition that goes with them. So it brings the calm, like the calm that it brought to me was having Tony Harris, Vincent Yarbrough, Isaiah Victor, CJ Black, like all those guys that walked walked through that door before me, so wasn't much expected of me. So I could just kind of sit back, relax, and be like, "Hey, let's go." You look at guys like Julian Phillips, Tyreek Key, all these guys. Jonas, they do get more time. Tobe, you see these guys when they're playing these teams, going on the road and things of that nature. You need somebody calming. Josiah's their calming force. You know what I'm saying? When you walk away from the bench, Euros in a sense, even though he's had to sit out a game, you know, you need guys that have walked through that. And so that leadership role of just having that presence around, I think, is a part that he brings to the game that was missing a lot for the Vols.
Ron, do you get a driver from ESPN, or who's taking you down to Auburn?
No, I got a cousin. I got a cousin pushing the ride, baby. We rolling, baby.
Gotcha. Yeah, I worked for ESPN. I had it sounds weird, but we were all picked up at the Hartford airport to take to Bristol. And let's just say that was a big van, but I don't know that it was big enough for all the egos, Ron. It was, I'm not going to mention who was in that van, but
I can only imagine.
It was exploding with egos. I just knew to sit there and
Yeah.
Ron, have a great call, buddy. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you on the tube tonight. And keep it up. Really happy for you, and thanks for being a part of the show.
Man, no doubt, man. I appreciate it. We get out here and rub elbows with Bruce and push him around down here in Auburn when I get here.
Yeah, I don't know that he goes shirtless anymore. I saw a picture of him recently.
I'm gonna challenge him. I'm down 18 pounds. I'm gonna take my shirt off immediately when I see him. And tell him, let's reveal it, baby. You gotta show me something. Show me something.
I would like to apologize to you for having to spend your first SEC network coverage game in Auburn. I've told Dave that's the worst SEC town in the country, so the worst town in the SEC. So just wanted to say that.
Hey, all good, man. I'm accepting all challenges right now. I would much rather be going here than Oxford. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I said last week Oxford's the better town.
But I never experienced the Grove either, though. So I'm withholding my judgment for a while.
Well, okay. I'll just tell you this. This is before GPS. I got so lost trying to find my hotel in Auburn on some dark 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere that I did pull over and cry for a second. That's the true story. I was like, I just want to find this hotel where my pregnant wife is and go to bed.
I'm glad you made it out, Dave.
It could have gone either way. I felt like that banjo was playing in that movie. Be good, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, no doubt.
Ron Slay. He'll be on the call for the SEC Network and ESPN.